How's it going, everybody? It is me, Mr. Drake, and today we're talking about match betting because I've been doing it now for about 3 months, and while I'm no expert, I know enough about the process that I can explain it to people who are interested in giving it a go. I've been match betting for 3 months, but in this video I'm not going to be backing it or laying it. I'm going to be as objective as I can so that I can give as unbiased an opinion as possible, because I realise this opportunity won't be perfect for everybody. At the end of the video, I'm going to be discussing something that I found really important to me in my journey to understanding match betting, but I've not seen anybody else discussing it, and it's really shaped the way that I view match betting, but also the way that I view my profits and how I'm going to spend them. Put really simply, it's the opportunity to take advantage of free bet offers made by bookmakers. Now that's a very vague synopsis, so I'll give you an example. Let's say I was a bookmaker and I offer you a £10 free bet if you place a £10 bet with me. You'd need to place the £10 bet first, so we'll discuss that first. Let's say you have Arsenal and Chelsea, and between the two of them you need to bet on a result, so let's say £10 on Arsenal to win. Now the second step is you need to go into what's called a betting exchange, and you need to lay the bet against your original bet. So it's important to note you're not betting that Chelsea will win, in fact you're betting that Arsenal will lose. So now because you've bet one bet Arsenal will win and the other bet Arsenal will lose, you need to make sure they have close odds so that they don't have a big disparity between them. The closer the odds are together, the more minimal the losses are on your qualifying bet. Once that has settled, you're then given your free bonus bet. So now that you've got your free £10 bet, you could just gamble it and bet it against anything that you wanted and hope that it comes through, but then you're just gambling with free money. If you want to guarantee yourself a profit, all you need to do is match the bet the same way you did with the qualifying bet, and it's locked in that you'll guarantee a profit of about 80% of the value of the free bet. So if you have a £10 free bet, you'll probably get somewhere between £7 and £8 in profit. Now that's a very kind of loosely based example. If you want to know the more intricate details of match betting, I've linked to a channel in the description down below called Team Profit, and they have dozens and dozens and dozens of videos all focused on how to match bet, how to take advantage of offers, what all the individual terms and phrases are, what different companies are out there that can help you with it as well. So if you want to know more about the intricate details of it, definitely go check out that channel, because it's going to tell you a lot more than I'll be able to in the time that I've got. Whenever somebody wants to place a bet, they need to have somebody willing to bet against them. Otherwise, they're just a person who thinks a thing is going to happen. When you go into the bookmakers, for example, you place a bet and the bookmaker bets against you. So if you win the bookmaker's money, and if they win your money. Well, a betting exchange is like a marketplace that allows you to bet against other members of the public. So you might think that a specific thing is going to happen, say Watford to win the Premier League, and you'll put £5 on it, and then somebody's going to bet against that because they don't think it's going to happen. This is where a betting exchange is really important for match betting, because you're able to bet against a specific outcome. Now, if I was to win that bet for Watford, I would win the other person's money, and if Watford didn't win the Premier League, I'd lose my £5 bet and it would go to the other person. In the interest of being honest, match betting isn't 100% risk-free because it's not idiot-proof. I've cocked up before and laid the wrong bet. This mistake only cost me around £8, but the point holds true that human error is an element of risk that is involved in match betting. When I decided to start match betting, I joined a site called profitaccumulator.com, and as long as I follow the step-by-step guides on their website, then the offers are risk-free. In a purely mathematical sense, match betting is entirely risk-free, because when you offset your qualifying bet, you may lose 10p to a pound, but with the balance of free money coming into the equation, that tips the scales in your favour. Now, if you don't understand match betting or gambling in general, I strongly suggest that you use a website like Profit Accumulator or Odds Monkey, because what they will do for you is they will source all of the offers for you. They'll create step-by-step guides to help you get through the process without making any mistakes. And what they'll also do is they make sure that you don't get stuck in any of the terms and conditions of these offers that could end up costing you money. In a word, yes, gambling in the UK is legal. In fact, the UK has one of the most liberal attitudes towards gambling in the world. There are no limits or restrictions on the number or type of bets that you can make, as long as you're not betting on the outcome of an illegal sport or activity. While it's legal, match betting is very frowned upon by bookmakers, and if a bookmaker thinks that you're using their site to place match bets, they will block you from using their site in the future. If you have a blocked account with a bookmaker, you should be able to get all of your account balance back from them still. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of match betting, starting off with the pros. Number one is bloody easy, especially if you're using a site like oddsmonkey.com or Profit Accumulator, because they will do all of the legwork for you, you just follow their step-by-step guides. Number two, as it stands in the UK, no taxes are levied against money made through betting. That extends to match betting. There are people out there at the moment making thousands of pounds a month or year through match betting, paying no tax on that profit. Number three, the pay per hour. When you first start in match betting, it's incredibly lucrative because there's lots of high value free offers to take advantage of, and in 30 minutes you can make about £30 profit. That's an hourly rate of £60 an hour. So now let's have a quick look as well at the cons of match betting. The first one is your profits are limited by your invested capital. Now, when you get a free bet, you want to take advantage of it and lock in as much profit as you can. In order to do this, you need to work with higher odds. But with higher odds, what's going to happen is you'll need more money in your betting exchange account in order to cover the bet. For more information on understanding this, again, go to Team Profit's YouTube channel. They have loads of videos on there that will help it make more sense to you. They have videos on betting exchanges, laying bets, and what a liability is and why you need to cover it. Number two is the pay per hour. Now I know, I literally just said that the pay per hour was great, but once those high value offers are off the table, you find yourself spending 20 to 30 minutes locking in a profit of £3 to £4, and it's not quite as exciting. That works out at an hourly rate of about £6 to £12 an hour. Number three is 3 months bank statements. If you plan on using your previous 3 months bank statements for anything from a mortgage approval to being a guarantor for yourself or for someone else, companies will be very wary of you if you have any transactions that are affiliated with betting companies. This is fine, it's okay, just make sure that if you're planning on using your previous 3 months bank statements at some point in the future, to not make any deposits or withdrawals from any betting affiliated company. And lastly, it's bloody boring. I'm a really active, outdoorsy type person. I'm not an office job type. So spending half an hour at my laptop, logging onto Profit Accumulator, finding a new offer, registering with a new bookie, making a deposit, finding a good odds match, going to the bookie, going to the betting exchange, laying both bets, waiting for it to complete, then doing all of the same again with the free bet. It just gets really mundane. It's a really simple process, anyone can do it, it's just incredibly monotonous. While researching this video, I watched dozens of reviews on match betting and read dozens of blogs about match betting, and none of them seem to ask this next question. Where does your profit come from? It sounds like the answer should be obvious, because obviously the bookmaker's offering you a free bet, and that free bet allows you to make profit, so it must be the bookmaker's money that you're winning. Well, that's not entirely true. You see, if you win a bet on an exchange, then you lose the bet against the bookmaker. This means that the bookmaker gets your money, and you get the money of another member of the public via the betting exchange. Right now in the UK, there's about 430,000 people that have a problem with gambling addiction. A recent study by a Swedish university concluded that people with a gambling addiction were 15 times more likely to commit suicide than the general population. This could suggest that 550 people a year in the UK commit suicide because of a gambling addiction. Now I know this isn't a fact, it's based on a study and the maths behind it. However, even just one person per year committing suicide because of gambling addiction is terrible. But the fact that it could be more than 10 per week is truly awful. To take a closer look at this, let's see the two outcomes of a match bet. Let's see firstly, if you win your bet on the betting exchange end, you've won money from somebody else. And there's a strong chance that over time, you will have won money from somebody with a gambling addiction, or potentially someone at risk of developing a gambling addiction. All of a sudden, the profits don't quite feel as good. They don't sit right with me. But at least, if you win on the bookmaker's end, you've won their corporate money and you can sleep better at night. Well, where did they get their money from in the first place? Gamblers and, more likely, people with a gambling addiction. I realised this about a month into my time match betting, and it was enough to stop me for about a month. which is why in 3 months I made about £300 profit. I've seen some people make £500 plus in their first month. What I realised though, and the reason why I've continued to do match betting since, is that addicted gamblers are going to continue to gamble, match bettors are going to continue to do match betting, and arbitrage bettors are going to continue arbing, regardless of whether I do or not. While I might be considered part of the problem by doing match betting, by not doing it, I'm not part of the solution. The way that I can be part of the solution is to donate a percentage of my profits to gambleaware.com. To that end, I'm committing on record to donating 20% of my match betting profits to the charity, because it's risk-free profit, and with which, even if I just donate £20 for every £100 that I profit, I could do a great deal of good helping someone who's going down a dark road with gambling, as well as helping their family. GambleAware invests its donations into awareness campaigns that are designed to stop gambling addiction before it begins, research to help better treat and educate at-risk young adults as well as patients who have a gambling problem, providing a support structure for problem gamblers as well as their families, developing rehabilitation programs and facilities. When all is said and done, match betting is one of the easiest ways to make a secondary income as long as you have access to your laptop and the internet. Anybody over the age of 18 can do it, regardless of your knowledge or experience with sports and gambling. You could make potentially thousands of pounds tax-free. That could go towards building an emergency fund, helping you clear debts, building a deposit on your first home, or even just buying yourself something nice. I feel like it's important to acknowledge though, this isn't a victimless money-making opportunity. For every time that you or I make profit, somebody else loses. And for as good as making money feels, being on a downward spiral of gambling addiction is infinitely much worse. But we can be part of the solution. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody else follows suit and donates too, and I'm not suddenly the patron saint of gamblers, but being honest in my match betting experience meant that I couldn't ignore something that didn't sit right with me. Leave a comment if you too decide to leave a percentage of your winnings to GambleAware. Also, let me know what your experience has been with match betting, either in the comments or on the gram. Thanks to everybody who watched the video. If you enjoyed it, please do share it and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, stay cash flow strong, turn your wages into wealth. All the best, enjoy your week. Later!